Hey guys, welcome back to D.O.S.E. Today we have another episode of Hot Tub Hot Takes. I'm Maya, and I'm joined by
Ayami.
And we have a special guest,
Lily Bunch.
And today we are going to be talking about childhood TV shows. Ayami, start us off.
So I wanted to present you guys with a list of iconic in my
formal
mind.
list, very formal list.
It's very formal. I thought about it so much. Totally did not just come up with it. But it starts off with Lab Rats. And
classic
Honestly,
show.
Yeah.
for anyone who hasn't seen Lab Rats, there's 3 bionic kids that live in their adoptive father's basement. They basically eat and feed out of a tube. And their new stepbrother finds them when he's exploring his new house. And so
Shenanigans ensue.
They go and they solve not crimes.
Yeah, they're like
crimes.
superheroes.
And they also
fight
try
people.
and live a normal life as high schoolers
Yeah.
as well, which is very difficult when you're super strong, super fast, and like super smart.
Yeah.
Really difficult to do. And they're thriving doing that. They're really living it up doing it.
Yeah. Until the downfall of buying an island and turning it into a boarding school for other bionic children that we didn't know existed.
Yes, because 3 is not enough, and
3 is
other
not enough.
crazy rich people have them in their houses.
Yeah.
In their basements.
Specifically in their basements.
Yes,
I never
they have to
got-
be in the basements for them to go to the school.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so true.
Yeah.
It is like a requirement.
It's a requirement. It's one of the things you have to check off the list. You know that you check
The
off.
list,
You check
yeah.
off race. You check off gender, whatever, and then do you live in a basement? Checked.
For over a decade.
And
it
if
has
you
to
don't,
be
they
for
just
like
throw it
over a
away.
decade. And then they're like,
If not,
oh,
they're like
sorry.
rejected. It's
Sorry,
like
you
it's
don't
like
belong here.
It's like giving your GPA and transcript to a college.
Oh yeah.
You know what part I never got about Lab Rats is, so there's this guy named Crane, very angry bald man, who's
Yes.
he's out for these kids. And so in
Like red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag number
He's a
1.
grown man.
male manipulator.
Yeah.
And he's bald.
And
he's bald, and he's like a middle-aged man after literal like children, like they're minors.
And he has a gang, essentially, of
He does.
these bionic kids that he just found these kids, put a chip in their neck, and he was like, that one, he has a laser sword.
Yeah, and
He will exterminate us all with his laser sword.
it was also really funny how he just like found kids, put chips in them, but then I can't remember what his name is, but the guy who like was the one keeping the lab rats
Davenport.
in the Davenport.
I want to talk about that.
He was like, he struggled so much with these kids' chips, and then this like he just comes along and is just like, I have like over 100.
Actually,
Fight me.
it wasn't Davenport who gave them the bionic chips. It was his brother,
But
who's
he was
their
like
biological father.
He like prided he
Yeah.
prided himself on being like so smart, but then like these chips came along and everyone could figure it out but him.
Yeah.
pretty much.
He could not grasp this.
Back to the name Davenport. The only thing I knew Davenport from was when I lived in LA. Because it's like that kind of like southern. Is it Southern California?
Yeah.
I don't know. Davenport
Yeah.
is a town, and so I was always like, is he named after the town, or is he so rich that they named the town after him?
He got there first.
Both.
Yeah, like
both.
which one was it? Because he was the super rich, like Tony Stark level rich man that's supposed to be smart and all this stuff. And then there's also a town called Davenport, and I'm like, did he buy it and name it after himself, or did he like do something for them? And these were questions that were never answered to my 7-year-old self.
Also, the reason why he wore so much concealer throughout the entire TV
He
show
did.
also never answered.
Never
I just
answered.
want to
Never
know
answered.
if that was the actor or if Davenport woke up every morning and he was like, Tasha, I need my concealer. This is
If
light
so,
sand,
where
you
did
know
he-
I'm light beige.
Where did he get it? Like, did he just like stroll into like?
He was definitely an Ulta man.
Oh
he
yeah,
would be an Ulta man.
Yeah, and
He
then
would
I
be.
feel like he would move, and there was no Ulta in his town, so he had to converge to Sephora, and he was upset about it.
oh yeah.
He was like, at
And
least
he's
they have
like-
birthday
He would be
rewards.
like forever pissed at the employees, regardless if they did anything wrong, just because he had
they
to
could
shop at
literally
Sephora.
find him a perfect match. And he's like, it's not the same as Ulta.
Yeah, it's
Like-
like the same brand, same
every-
color, and he would just be like, "It's just not the same, guys."
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think Ulta does it better. I have to say. Tasha, you're not listening to me.
Tasha was kind of iconic. I like the representation of like divorced parents marrying because I feel like it's either very happy couple or like sad divorced parents in Disney shows. And it's like it's never like the middle ground of it where it's like, oh, they're happy and they're remarried, which is like kind of cool.
Wholesome.
Yeah, it was very wholesome, and I thought that was kind of cool.
He did not deserve Tasha, however.
No, he did not.
No, he did
never.
not.
No one deserved Leo.
No.
No.
I will say I did like the parents, and I'm really glad they didn't do a Hannah Montana where they're just like, "Oh, mom died."
Sorry.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a classic Disney thing.
Yeah, it's either the one parent, whether it's divorce. It's more. Most of the time, it's death.
Most of the time, it is death.
It just seems so common.
If
you
watch
these shows, and you're like, all of their moms are
if
dead.
If you are a parent in any kind of Disney movie, Disney TV show, you have a very low likelihood of survival.
Yeah. That
like
you
the
have
mortality rate.
The mortality rate is really low.
It's really low for parents.
But then the mortality rate is low, or it's super high in like your side of the Disney universe, and you have the most ridiculously happy marriage.
Yeah, like Cory and Topanga from Girl Meets World.
Exactly. Well, but they built up.
Yeah, moving on to Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets World. Can we just talk about how wild that show was?
That show was wild. If I'm being honest, I only watched like the first 2 seasons.
That's fair.
I think I watched
because I think I gave up. I gave up after like halfway through the second season. I was like, no, like,
it was really easy to do that. They really went downhill, I think.
Also, side note, I just looked it up, and mortality rate is actually their chance of death, and in that case, they have the highest mortality rate of all.
Oh,
but back to Girl Meets World.
Our bad.
Back to Girl Meets World. The fact that these 3 kids somehow, or 4, including Lucas, I guess.
Yeah, if you count Lucas.
If you count Lucas, the
Lucas.
Texan boy.
Wasn't he like missing for half the show? Didn't he like go back to Texas or something?
I feel like
he was in and out. He wasn't really there all the time.
Yeah, exactly. He felt like he honestly felt like the girl in like a bunch of other TV shows where it's just like the 2 guy best friends, and then there's like this girl whose literal personality is love interest. It felt like
Hermione.
It felt like that, but it's Lucas, and honestly, that was very feminist of them.
It was very feminist of them.
I thought you were gonna say he puts the girl in Girl Meets World, and I was like, does he? Really?
He does.
Go boss.
They definitely had to pump the feminism into Lucas though. Like Maya pummeled the feminism into him.
I don't believe this whole guy moves from Texas. He's a year older than all of them because he got held back, and he's like, I'm a new man, I'm gonna be a vet, and I'm a feminist because I'm in New York City.
Why would you move from like Texas, which is
cheaper living
to New York City?
That feels like expensive living.
That feels like a really
small, cramped, where Texas is big, open.
That's a bad move.
It seems like a very like
jarring,
just out of college move to do and be like, you know what? I'm done with Texas. I've lived here my whole life. I went to my local community college, and now I'm moving to New York because I'm gonna live my life.
Also,
but he was like 17.
He was 17.
Yeah, he was like a child.
Also, the way that. So they brought in Zay, his best friend from Texas.
That was weird. I remember that.
That was weird. Why did he just like?
He just kind of showed up one day.
How are his parents just like? No, you know what? You're right. Let's go to New York City.
We
one of the most expensive cities to live in the U.S. Let's go there.
Yeah,
and like that whole. I'm sorry. The whole plot. I watched the whole show. I don't like it. I don't like the show, but I also love it.
Yeah, and
I love it because it was like what Keeping Up with the Kardashians is for like older women. That's Girl Meets World was that for us.
Yeah, for children.
Do you remember that there was like when they went and visited Lucas's like childhood play, and like the weird moment between Maya and Lucas by the fire. And then later on he was like, it's always been you, Riley. It did not seem like had it always been her. That was
wasn't there some drama there? Like,
please don't tell my sister or something. Like,
and then also like Riley,
I felt bad for her.
I felt bad for her, but she was also like, she said like during that like special, that like 2-part like Texas special or something, she was like, he's like a brother to me. It's like, no, he isn't. Stop lying.
The way that they had this whole Maya pretends to be Riley, Riley pretends to be Maya. Why not just say that Maya did have a crush on Lucas, but then decided that he just wasn't for her.
Yeah.
Maya falls in love with Uncle Josh. Uncle Josh is in love with a teenage girl while he's in college.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That
weird
was,
because
like,
weren't they like
glossed
still
over.
in high school too?
Yes.
They were like
I'm pretty sure they started
were-
off in like
they
in
were, like,
middle
freshmen.
school. They started off in middle school.
I thought they
the
were-
third season.
Oh, in the third season, yeah. They were like
Wait,
freshmen or
what? They're only
something.
freshmen in
Yeah.
They were.
I thought they were
young.
like freshmen in the first season.
No,
They were in middle. Yeah, they
That's
were in middle
really
school.
weird.
It was odd. It was very. It was
That's
a very
a weird
odd choice.
age category.
Also,
Yeah.
the way that like Uncle Josh started out with Maya, and he was like, "I'm 3 years older than you. This is never gonna happen." And then in the very end of the show, they're holding hands, and
Yeah.
he's like,
You're still
I'll-
holding
I'll-
my hand, Josh.
"I'm in it for the long game, Maya."
Yeah,
You're in college, actually.
it's like this is predatory.
Like, do you know what happens in college?
I don't.
Do you
think
know
he
what
had any
happens? Do you
friends.
know what
No.
happens when a college student starts dating a high schooler? Because it doesn't end well.
It rhymes with male, and it starts with a J. And it's such a great place for you to go.
It's a
Josh.
really interesting place.
I think you fit
Oof.
in there, actually. Do you think he looks good in the color orange?
I think he would look good in the color orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
I
too.
think it really suits him.
Mhm.
Okay, next show.
I'm not sure how that was gonna transition into anything else.
Speaking of
Um,
orange,
Speaking of orange,
Phineas is a redhead in Phineas and Ferb. Facts, that's canon.
it is canon. It is canon. I think the best part of Phineas and Ferb was the movies. I'm not gonna
Yes.
lie,
yeah,
and the fact that they're still making movies. Like they made a movie 2 years ago, 2020. They had
You
a
know
movie
what?
come out.
And
I
that-
watched it.
it was.
I watched
not,
it too.
It was not bad at all.
It wasn't, and considering it's 2020 and the fact that they can still do the voices and stuff is
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh, it's
It's impressive.
It really
They
is.
carried my childhood.
No, same.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb reruns were a constant in the Schneider household.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh yeah.
Also, the
Like-
way that I really did love like their that they were stepbrothers. Like it was a
Yeah.
blended family.
Yeah, it was like adopted. Like, was he adopted or was it?
No, it was-
Ferb's dad had Ferb in England, and then they moved, and he got together with Phineas's mom, who also
Oh.
who already had Phineas and
And
Candace.
Candace.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I like that. I just
Yeah.
thought they had the children and then Ferb was adopted.
No, because I
No.
remember in one episode, Ferb was talking about England, and Phineas was like,
Mhm.
"That seems so cool," and I was
Yeah,
like,
and they
"This
did
is
go-
So
Oh,
wholesome."
yeah,
one
and there's
point, yeah,
that one episode where they're gonna like ship the brothers away because they get in trouble. It's like
Yeah.
Candace like fantasizing and he's like holding a little like England flag.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and also I think that in one of the episodes they did go and visit Ferb's
Yeah,
grandparents.
they did. In
Yeah.
England.
Oh,
Also-
they did.
yeah. Not like okay. Also, when they took Phineas and Ferb off of Netflix, devastating.
I was-
Devastating.
A
I was so
devastating
sad.
blow. It was horrible. I like.
Now you gotta go on YouTube. You gotta look
I
up
know.
Phineas
Yeah.
and Ferb.
Yeah. That's demoralizing.
It really is.
Dehumanizing.
It makes you feel a certain way.
It
when you do
does.
that.
It really
You know what?
does.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, my biggest hot take this episode is that the best character in Phineas and Ferb was Meep.
You know what? I agree with that entirely.
I do as well.
There
What
was
oh, not to cut you off, but what was that giant robot man that Dr. Doofenshmirtz had? Because I would say he's a close
Norm.
for me.
Norm. Oh,
I
yeah.
love Norm.
yeah, Norm was so fun. He was just always so optimistic, and no matter what. And I was like, that man's soul is being crushed on the inside. Like if he was
Oh,
a
yeah.
real human, he would be in a deep depression. But he's not.
He
He's
really
a happy
would.
robot.
Yeah.
He's his
But
Norm.
I have
He's
this.
his Norm.
Yeah. Whenever I think of Phineas and Ferb, I think of this one Meep episode where
Ooh.
they're traveling from wherever in Oregon they are to Washington, and literally there's a sign, and then it's like sunny on this side, and then they just pass the sign, and it's just pouring rain because they're in Washington now,
Oh yeah.
and it's literally Meep just like flying, like that's it.
Oh, it's
And I was
great.
that is like a core memory when I think of Phineas and Ferb. That and the roller coaster episode.
The roller coaster episode is iconic.
It really is.
It honestly is. And then the movies. We have to go back
Yeah.
to the movies.
Oh.
Like the multi-dimension
Oh.
thing is so cool.
Amazing.
It's so good.
Like-
And the way that they like Candace took up a leadership role.
Yeah.
and she
Oh,
was
great.
She
It was amazing.
She was just killing it in that movie.
She
And I was
really
like,
was.
She
Ashley
really
Tisdale,
was.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
I see the work you're putting in here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could tell that it wasn't just a character for her at that point.
She was Candace.
She was Candace.
She is Candace.
She is
Not even
Candace.
was. She is Candace. Candace is her.
Sharpay is like iconic, of
Yes,
course.
of
However,
course.
Candace, I think, is really the defining character.
Yes,
that
You know
for
what?
actors,
I have
Candace
a hot take about High School Musical. Sharpay is so much better than Gabriella.
Yeah. I
Yes.
honestly think Sharpay is the victim in High School Musical.
So do I. She was
Yeah.
done so dirty.
Yeah, she was. And like I get it, like she was kind of annoying at some points,
She
but
should have taken.
she
a
was
hint.
done. She should have taken a hint.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I agree with that. But she was definitely a little bit of the victim in that
She
movie.
was.
Like, imagine you've been working your whole life just practicing, rehearsing. And then a jock
Yeah.
in
And then-
his uniform and the
Mhm.
new girl who does math just walk in, they kill it on stage.
Yeah,
and,
they just completely like swipe everything that you've worked for
and
Yeah.
you and
out
your
from under
twin
you.
brother just like, what are we
Like they
then?
tap danced and sung at the same time.
Yeah.
And like kept
Did you
rhythm.
not
Like,
see the fabulous choreography?
honestly,
see
they
his
spoke
hats?
they spoke Spanish. Like in the like
They
the
speak
callback.
Spanish?
Yeah, they did a song in Spanish.
They did.
And there was like a ladder. They had props.
I need
Yeah.
to- I remember now.
They like had costumes. They went
crazy.
full out. It was clear that if they got cast, they would have been very committed to the show. And I don't know if the other two are up to that
The fact
standard.
that
No.
Troy and Gabriella were like running from event to event.
Yeah, no.
I was like, Sharpay wouldn't do that.
That's
Why
kind of
am I
like
doing
my
Sharpay would
life, though.
never.
My life is definitely running from event to event. Like, literally,
life is
after
kinda
this, I have to go work in sports med. Like, and then after I work in sports med, I have to go work at basketball practice. And then after that, I go home. But like some days, my life is literally that, running from event to event. And I feel main character. But it
Oh, yeah.
honestly is
Mhm.
very, like, a lot.
Very lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else we want to talk about? Underrated movie Lemonade Mouth.
Oh my goodness. That movie is amazing. It is something my mom still talks about to this day. And she's like, that is one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies. She's like, I don't remember the plot. I don't remember any of it, but it was the best movie
It was
of all time.
yeah. It was
I-
really in the
yeah.
golden age of Disney Channel
It
original.
was.
We
Yeah.
said that in sync.
movies.
But
It definitely was.
I love Bridget Mendler.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Mhm.
The
Still do. Still
songs.
do.
Mhm.
The songs, the raps,
Songs were good.
amazing.
Ugh,
Yeah.
like out of place, but
It was like a new
Needed.
generation of Disney movies.
was.
Like
It
it
was.
was still kind of in that like core era.
yeah.
was, like-
But it was like a new branch off for them
Yeah.
of that whole. It's kind of like their version of Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
but more musical.
You know what? Lemonade Mouth, did it come before Let It Shine? I think it came
I
before
don't
Let
think it
Shine.
did. I think Let It Shine was first.
Because those two movies define
Yeah,
Disney Channel
Mhm.
original movies.
I think Let It Shine was after. I think Lemonade Mouth might have been first.
That's what I think. Let It Shine was in
Let It
2012.
Shine was
We're looking
good.
this up right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Just so
We have
Lemonade
to
Mouth,
get correct. the
Lemonade
correct
Mouth came out in
information.
2011. So Lemonade
Okay.
Mouth gave us Let It Shine.
yeah.
Okay.
They did
Starting
fun.
that
thank you.
musical teen, but not in like a West Side Story cheesy
Mhm.
way.
And then they brought us way back to Teen Beach Movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
and
lie.
then-
I went through the biggest Teen Beach movie phase, and I
Yes.
still love it to this
Hot
day.
take, it is a good movie.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is a
Okay,
good movie.
it's very there's a movie that it reminisces of, and I'm like, that's Teen Beach Movie, but I can't remember what it is.
The second Teen Beach movie was definitely an interesting one. However, Ross Lynch's solo in the middle of the second movie,
Oh,
it was legitimately a good song.
I listened to that song
Same.
in my car.
It's a good song.
No,
It
just
is
the
a
Teen
very
Beach
good song.
movies soundtracks are like just kind of good, period. And then
That's
like
true.
that song specifically is
Yeah.
just really
Also,
good.
I think that the chemistry between the two leads,
yeah,
I
like
thought they were
I
together
don't-
in real life.
I did too.
yeah, and like I don't think that any other Disney movie has ever like
I don't think I've
gotten
ever
up to that
believed a
standard.
couple so much.
exactly. Yes.
Speaking of amazing soundtracks for
Mhm.
Disney original movies, Girl vs. Monster. Hot take, in that one scene where I forget her name, but that girl who like broke her neck on the stairs.
Yes. Oh my god. She's like the popular girl, and she's like, is she dating the dude
No,
that like?
they like broke up. They
Yeah.
broke up in the very beginning. But when she gets possessed by that demon and sings that song,
She sings her heart
she sings her
out.
heart out, and you know what? That version is better.
Yeah,
It's the
I
best.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody is like
Totally.
listening to this not knowing the movie, they're gonna be so confused.
So confused. But Girl versus Monster, it's
Watch
pretty
it.
much Olivia Holt. Her
Oh yeah.
Love her.
parents are monster hunters, but she like doesn't know it. And then it's Halloween time, and then the like monsters get like let out. Like I think her parents accidentally
Yeah.
let
No,
them
no,
out, or
she,
she.
like,
Very
Oh no,
Teen
she
Wolf
let
vibes.
them out.
She let
She
them
let
out.
them out.
Very like Teen Wolf vibes, but
Mhm.
very Disney Channel.
Yes, like same kind of like vibe, like
Mhm.
theme and like that kind of thing, like the
Mhm.
setting, you know, using those English vocab words.
Vibe.
And so pretty much she like lets the monsters out, and then she has to like hunt them down, and her best friend is like a wuss. He is like so scared of these ghosts and like anything remotely scary, and she's like not scared of anything. Like that's like
Girl
the duo
boss.
right there.
Mhm.
It's like he is scared of everything and she is scared of nothing.
Mhm. There is
Um,
no in between. It is
no.
what like one of
Opposite
the,
ends of the
yeah,
spectrum.
like two extremes. You
And
cannot
it
have anything in the
works.
middle, and it
It
does.
does. Don't they
Olivia
end up
pulls
together
it
at the
off.
end? I thought her and her best friend end up together at the
No,
end.
I think she ends up with the love interest Luke Benwood.
Oh, does she
Is that his
really?
name?
I don't
I think
know.
so. I know him because he was in CloudNine with Dove Cameron.
Yes,
And that movie is a
that movie is
classic.
really
It's
good.
really good, and I feel like no one really watched it.
No, it was.
I
Oh my
watched it.
god,
I
it was
watched
really
it.
good.
I liked the whole snowboarding thing
Yeah.
and like the whole like conquering her fear of doing this after like
Yeah.
You know what?
someone
There
like
was
almost died doing it. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
She's like,
Mhm.
I'm different.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can do it.
different.
I'm different.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it with lip gloss on that stays perfect the entire time.
Yeah.
And she did it.
And she did,
Yeah.
which is really impressive.
Yeah. It was a little weird because she was like 15 when that was filmed, and he looked like 21.
He's
He looked
that
like
his
he
whole
was
life.
30.
Yeah. Which like was a little bit weird, but
It's
and I
okay.
don't think that they had much chemistry at all. But it was a good movie.
It was a
You know
good
what?
movie.
If they had ended up as just friends, it would have felt the exact same way.
It really would have.
Exact same way, because
They
it was
had, like,
more
same-
Little
yeah.
to no chemistry.
No, little to none. But the movie, I like that the movie was more, well, I mean, not really, but it felt like it was more focused on her achieving her goal than it was
Mhm.
the love interest, and then the love interest just like
Yeah.
happened to fall into the movie, which was like
Yeah.
upsetting. Like, why can't she be like an independent woman, like
Mhm.
doing her snowboarding thing? And then they're like,
Mhm.
no, we have to throw a guy into it. I'm like,
Yeah.
It had some feminist undertones.
Undertones.
yes, they
yeah.
could have been like
As-
full
yeah.
feminist,
As full as
but
feminist
feminist
as Disney,
as Disney
could go.
gets.
For
Yeah.
the time, it was pretty
It
good.
was pretty good.
Pretty
It
good.
was, I will say, it was jarring when there was like a scene at the high school and the guy, I don't even know his name, but the guy like came up. It was like shocking. I was like, aren't you like at least in college?
yeah,
I think I know exactly what you're
Yeah, it was a
talking
little
Mhm.
weird.
it was a little weird.
The way that all Disney Channel originals have adults in their 20s and 30s acting as high schoolers.
It's so funny.
And-
I really think that like changes children's like expectations for when they get
It's
into high
really
school
bad.
for
I
like
think
partners and
it's
stuff.
harmful.
It kind of is, because they're casting people who are 27, 28
Yeah.
to play 16-year-olds.
'cause-
Mhm.
Or opposite end of the spectrum, like the boy with the long hair from Lemonade Mouth. He was 12 when they filmed that movie.
He was 12?
12?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, he was
No
12
way.
when they filmed that
No
movie. He's
way.
very young,
Wow.
but he looks like he's
Interesting.
18.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Like, it's crazy they cast these so
Yeah.
opposite ends of the spectrum, and it just ruins your perception of what boys are
Yeah.
going to be like in high school.
Yeah.
And because that's what you look up to as a kid. You look
Yeah.
up to the kids in those movies, and you're like, oh, like, he's really cute. Like, my boyfriend's going to look like that when I'm
Yeah.
in high school.
And
No.
then you
yeah,
get to high
no,
school.
And
not
then
at
you get to
all.
high school, and that's just not what guys
Yeah.
look like
And
in
like
high
you,
school.
you
It's
don't
not
even
like a
know if they
bad thing.
shower or not. Like,
It's not a bad thing that
Well,
guys in high school don't look like that.
yeah.
It's just misleading.
I think
It
that it
is.
is kind of harmful because you like kids will look at these like women playing like what are supposedly like 16-year-olds, and they'll
Mhm.
think that like that's what they're supposed to look like. So then when they actually like get to that point in high school and they don't look like that, I feel like it's like really like crushing like
Yeah.
self-esteem
Yeah.
wise.
What
like
I was
it's
saying though is that it's not like bad that this is what boys look
Oh,
like.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like that's just not.
No,
It's
it's
not
just,
you.
it's, yeah,
honestly
This
set,
isn't what you
set
look
the
like.
expectations like lower than they should be.
for sure.
No offense to the guy
I think
listeners, but
Farkle was
It's
by
okay.
far the most accurate representation of a freshman boy.
Honestly, yes. The bowl cut was just
The bowl cut, the voice, the fact that he had like an identity crisis out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Went by the
Mhm.
name Danny Ballins for like 2 days, then was like, I'm Farkle.
The fact that like I'm pretty
Accurate.
sure wasn't
Yeah.
his name
I did
actually
that.
Farkle?
Yeah, his name was like actually Farkle.
His name was Farkle Minkus.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
That
and
is
no
quite a name.
nickname, no nothing. That was just his name, and I think it's so representative of like actual high schoolers. Like,
I know, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's the most accurate representation of high schoolers you're gonna get in
Also,
Disney
I feel
movies.
so bad for him for having the name Farkle.
I know. I was.
But
He lived up to it though.
He did.
He
He
did the
did.
best
His
that he could.
girlfriend had a worse name. Smackle. Smackle.
Who are
Let
these
that sit in for a
parents?
second, audience.
Yeah.
Her name is Smackle.
I feel like she had a real name, didn't she?
No.
No,
No?
I
Her
swear,
name is Smackle.
her name is
I
Smackle.
thought her name was something, but oh,
Yeah. But what's the next one? Next
Next one?
topic. Are there any more with like bad names?
Bad names of people in it.
Yeah. What about
Let's talk about Caillou.
Caillou? Yeah.
What are
Caillou.
your thoughts on this?
Okay,
think
I
Caillou
didn't
is a
watch.
spoiled brat.
That is very true.
I think you're right. But I didn't watch much Caillou as a kid. I was more of a like Playhouse Disney kid. When it
Mhm.
was still Playhouse Disney and wasn't Disney Junior.
I
Yeah.
miss Playhouse Disney.
I
It
miss the
was-
two
it was
little
annoying.
orangutans that were like the mascots of like
Oh,
Playhouse Disney,
yeah.
the blue one and the orange one.
They were
Yeah,
really cute.
They were really cute.
I only bring up Caillou because I have yet to meet someone named Caillou.
It was French.
It was.
It was
Oh.
dubbed
He's-
over in English. He's
he's-
French.
It was dubbed over in English?
Is there
really?
any reason why he's bold?
I don't think so. That was like okay. I want to talk about this because that's like really confusing, because most kids are like bald when they're like below the 8, like for like 1-ish, but like he's like walking, he's talking, forming full sentences.
Okay.
Where is his hair?
I'm not gonna lie, I was bald up until the age of 3, and then I got christened by a margarita, and then I
Oh
grew
my
hair.
gosh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody who
That's one
can't grow
magical
hair,
margarita.
margaritas work wonders.
Pro tip, guys. Look into margaritas.
No, I wish I was kidding. My parents, like, we, like, went to some, like, mission in, like, Arizona, because there's, like, some that are kind of, like, scattered in, like, Arizona, New Mexico area, right? And then my parents, we went to a mission, and then my mom did the little, like, cross thing with, like, the holy water bowl, because we're not religious. She just did it for funsies, because she's my mom.
Funsies.
Yeah.
And then they went to like some like Mexican restaurant that they really liked, and then I got christened with a margarita, and they like took like a spoon and like poured it over my head.
It would be really funny if
Like I was being baptized.
Oh my
like
God.
I don't know what christened is. I don't really
It would
know,
be really
but,
funny
like,
if hair started growing where she drew the cross.
That would be a
it would
sign.
That would be a sign.
it would be a sign for
that
sure.
means God does exist. If that happened,
Yeah.
it would be like definite proof.
I know
Oh,
that God
definitely.
exists. No.
Naomi's like, actually,
I was gonna make a joke like following that joke, but then I was like,
But then we just cut off.
I just dropped it off. Anyways, but talking about like soundtracks has just I know we're talking about Caillou, but also
Yeah.
I just want
Mhm.
to give Let It Shine a moment again.
Let It Shine needs its
we need to
its
come
own
back
because-
to it. Yeah.
I want to make fun of Chris and whatever the like main character's name was, because he sent in a photo of him and someone else as a photo of himself and didn't even think to like point an arrow at him.
Giving very much like Tinder
Yeah.
vibes.
And then he was like surprised that they were confused who it is. He really was just like, no, I know this is a photo of me and my best friend, and I know he's in front of me in the photo.
But you should know.
But why don't you just see who I am?
Yeah, I am Chris. You
I
should
am
know,
Chris.
right?
You should know.
Yeah.
Just by the look of my face.
But yeah, a little like word of advice to you, Cyrus. Maybe next time send in a photo of you, maybe?
And
Yeah.
only you.
Only you.
We did learn that the name was actually Cyrus and not
It is.
Chris, and
It's
Chris
not-
was the best friend, which is okay. We're
It's
learning
okay.
from our
It's okay.
mistakes,
Chris-
right?
Yeah, and also just helpful hint to Chris. Next time your best friend Cyrus does this, tell him not to.
Yeah.
I also would like to call attention. So we looked up Let It Shine cast
Yeah.
to find out who is Chris.
Who is Chris?
We found out that the guy who plays Bling, his character's name is Lord of Da Bling. and his friend is called the boss. So, there's also elderly church woman, Revelation,
Really stoic names.
Flirting girl number 1.
Ooh.
Flirting girl number 1 was my favorite actor.
Is there flirting girl number 2?
No, just number 1.
That's number 1.
Fascinating.
I think flirting girl 2 was there, and then she got cut.
Honestly,
oh no.
then flirting girl number 1, she's a star.
She
Yeah.
picked up the slack, and she really
She really
pulled through.
did. She really did.
She made the movie all that it should have, all that it is.
Yeah, she really carried the whole thing.
I'm proud of her.
She did.
Yeah, I hope her back's doing okay. That must have been hard.
Yeah, it must have been really difficult.
I hope she's seeing the chiropractor she needs.
Regularly after like
day.
a decade.
All of our hot takes have so far just been that these movies slap.
They
Yeah.
do.
So
They do,
if
except for
you-
Caillou.
Except for Caillou.
Except for
Except for
Caillou.
Caillou.
So if you disagree,
We would love to know.
We
Yeah.
would
just
like
DM us,
like
DM
discourse.
us.
Have some discussion.
say like, "Hey, I can't believe you thought his name was Chris. That's really disappointing.
Yeah.
I expected better from you."
Yeah.
and if you do that, we will issue an apology.
I also
We
would like
will.
to know if anyone's
Formal
if-
Instagram
yeah.
apology.
Yes.
Mhm.
What if we just read the Logan Paul apology but replaced the words
Ooh.
Forrest with Chris?
You want me to look it up? Sorry, guys, we're a bit off topic right now.
It needs to be
But-
done though.
It does. It
need
does.
to
It's
be
important.
Like a preemptive apology.
If
But-
anyone doesn't know who Logan Paul is,
I'm so sorry for
Where
you.
have you been?
you missed an amazing part of our middle school experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big thing. Because
That
I
was
remember there were kids that would
huge.
wear the alien hat.
No.
After the event, they just had it, so then they would wear it.
I'm just
Great
gonna-
decision.
I'm gonna read my favorite part of his apology.
Please do.
I'm often reminded of how big of a reach I truly have, and with great power comes great responsibility. He came up with that himself.
Yeah,
actually.
Ben.
No,
no,
that was all
Oh,
Logan
sorry,
Paul.
That was all.
That
Logan
was
Paul.
all original.
For the first time in my life, I'm regretful to say
No.
I handled that power incorrectly. It won't happen
For the
again.
first time.
First
First
time.
time.
For the first time.
I love everyone.
Was this pre
I-
or post diss track?
I think it was pre. I believe in people. I'm out here. Peace. Hashtag Logan for life.
Censor that.
that is my favorite part of his formal apology.
And
Because-
this is an apology for calling him Chris.
I love that in the other parts of the apology. Apparently, I can't speak, but in the other parts of the apology, he's like, "Yeah, it was wrong. Shouldn't have done it." Then he's like, "Hashtag Logan
Gang
for
for
life."
life.
Hashtag
Yeah.
I love everyone.
Was he the one with the bird?
the bird?
The bird?
Yeah. Which Paul brother was the one with the bird? And then he one of them's colorblind and he couldn't see, so then he got the colorblind glasses. He's like, "Wow, my bird is beautiful." You know what I mean?
That's a very
This is
That's-
so off topic.
This has gone off the rails.
I like the course that we're taking though.
I do.
Same. I mean, we did relate it.
We
Yeah.
did, yes. Yeah.
Audience,
They
I
are a
hope
part
you
of they are a
love
part of
us.
Childhood experience.
of childhood experiences, the Paul brothers.
And I mean,
unfortunately.
they kind of are like TV shows.
He was
They're
on
not
his
like
own TV show.
Oh my god,
Bizarre
Jake.
Park.
Bizarre
Bizarre
Park.
Park was so bad. I
It
have to admit,
was.
I
Oh,
did
it
not
was
like
so
Bizarre
bad.
Park.
But I did.
It got better after the Paul brother left.
Mhm.
Was
I
it
did-
Jake Paul or Logan Paul that
It
was
was
on Bizarre
Jake.
I
Park?
didn't watch after he left.
That
I only
train.
watched 3 episodes.
It was bad. It was really bad. I don't think they really understood the concept of YouTube.
No.
I do appreciate that
No,
it gave
no.
us Olivia Rodrigo though.
Yes,
yeah.
it did. It
Also,
did.
she was in an American Girl movie.
I remember
She
that.
was?
She was. She would played a girl who learned how to bake and went to Paris.
And you know what?
Sick.
Kind of
movie-
iconic.
That movie slapped.
It really did.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched that movie.
Oh, you
The only
should.
American Girl doll movies I've watched was Kit's movie.
Mm,
Yeah.
The gymnastics one.
The gymnastics one was so.
It was very emotional.
I think that's it.
Is that all we have for you
But-
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's all we have.
After
know-
closing out with a nice, good old fashioned YouTube
American
apology
Girl.
and American Girl.
I really hate to let you guys go. I know that you want to stay with us.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have to. It's not working out anymore.
No.
We
Yeah.
have to go.
It's not. We have to let you go.
That we
And,
can come back,
you know,
if you really want us.
you know,
I mean, if you want.
If you really want us to.
Yeah.
DM us if you want us to come back.
yeah, you know, hashtag Logan for life.
Is that
Hashtag
how we should end
Logan
this?
for
Just
life.
a collective hashtag Logan for
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Count us
One,
down.
2, 3.
Hashtag Logan for life. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Hot Tub Hot Takes. It means a lot. Thank you, and have a good night.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.